because most of the friends that I play with regularly own an Xbox One, so we're all suffering together.
Oh, fuck them. You can get new friends.
That's like saying, I don't want to leave the concentration camp because my friends are there.
Dude, where was that joke when I said that shit to you? I wish I had that.
So I was waiting for you to be like, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Black on Podcast. I've forgotten all the things that we've done 100 times. Brian, what are they?
You can find us on iTunes, on Spreaker, on Stitcher, on SoundCloud, and at lagcompodcast.podbean.com. If you want to sponsor a show, you can email in at lagcompodcast@outlook.com. Drop us some coins in the coin Fuck you!
Dude,
oh, man.
I said I should have started it there, but I didn't.
Which is why I thought you then hit the red button to start.
Eddie was talking.
The light was on outside the door. That means don't come in. I am recording right now.
I got a hard job over here, okay? I'm sick of being the man who's got to push the button and facilitate it. Why don't you guys start the fucking show? How about that?
All right, fuck it. Welcome to Black on Podcast, everybody. The best goddamn
it's not so fucking easy, is it? It's not so fucking easy, is it, son? I'm keeping that shit. I'm so keeping that shit. Welcome to Black on Podcast, the best goddamn podcast in your sub box.
You didn't even know what a CD club was, okay? Before I
Yes, because we have shops, right? There's these places, there's these buildings, right, where they put products on a shelf, and you can go in there and exchange money for the products, and that's how people bought CDs.
In America, we have capitalism.
Americans are way too fucking lazy. We have to send out somebody to deliver the CDs to us. We're not going outside to go get the CDs. That's just too much fucking work, man. We've had all along that it's a small development studio, and they had to sell out in order to get funding, resources, whatever, or maybe the team wasn't big enough to do a PlayStation port in order to get this game off the ground.
Well done, Brian. I was going to say, this answers the age-old question. Size matters.
Yeah. The male is the fucking bird with all the fucking glorious shit, right? All the feathers and looks fantastic, because it's his job to try and fucking do this stupid fucking dance to attract the plainest looking bird you've ever seen in your life. Like, a female peacock is like grey, right? Grey all over, makes no effort.
It's a peahen, Eddie, actually, peahen.
Yeah. Not any beak stick or nothing, right? No fucking mascara, nothing. Just brown feathers. And the male is there looking fabulous because of the pussy economy. Because the onus is on him to attract her.
You also see it as well where men have to compensate for what they don't bring in other areas. So oftentimes, white men who aren't as gifted as black men in the penis department have to get bigger cars in the CEO position because that's the only way they're going to attract women is with that wealth. Black guys, they just hang around with their pants off, and women just flock to it and ride that thing like Tarzan. It's on the heels of the Russian annexation of Crimea, while the U.S. and EU threatened sanctions against the Kremlin, which sounds like a Star Trek villain or something.
Yeah.
Fire the lasers at the Kremlin!
Is this the plot for episode 7? Like, what's going on here? See,
way
this is the power of the pussy economy, right?
Exactly, right? Hit them where it hurts.
Before, like, women can withhold sex as a means of protest. Guys can't do this. We can't be like, we're not fucking you broads, because then the broads would be like, okay, not a big deal, we'll go somewhere else.
It's such a New York thing to call girls broads. It's amazing. Rich told me that he was playing GTA 5, like, heist mode, right? And he was like, this is one of the most fun things I've ever done. And I was like, fuck, man, I want to play that now. And he's like, just buying a third Xbox One would just be embarrassing at this point. And I was like, yeah, there's no way that's happening.
Right. This is how I imagine it happening. He goes to the GameStop, and the guy behind the desk sees him walk in, and as he points in for the Xbox One, I'm cutting you off, dude. No, this is too much. This is an unhealthy habit.
I just need one more. I got these cheeseburgers, man. Just one more.
People keep telling me, Schwantz, you should just plug in a controller. And I'm kind of like, well, it's like doing a bike-athlon with training wheels on. Sure, it's just easier for me to put the training wheels on, but
you look
when
ridiculous.
I have to go around turns, I'm just fucked.
Yeah. And all your friends make fun of you, and
yeah.
You're just not cool.
I just think you need to stop cherry-picking your fucking moments where you're like, well, this character's fucking offensive. It's just like, no. Like,
Or the
well,
checklist. I like what you said last. The checklist. Like, you have to hit every kind of minority group,
fuck that.
otherwise somebody's going to get mad.
I'm not one of these like old school old white people that's like, oh, reverse racism and political correctness gone mad. No, I'm not that. If you still feel uncomfortable after it's explained to you that this person is either pre-op or post-op or transgender and is a woman, and you still have a problem with it, then we as a society should be allowed to fire you out of a cannon into space. Right? That's what I honestly believe.
I think, can't we all just fucking get along at some point? I think it's okay to defend those who feel uncomfortable around a woman who actually has a penis. That's my point.
I tell you what it is. It's less to do with, I can see some of the points you made. Yeah, no, like, women have the right to feel uncomfortable with dicks, right? If there's unwanted dick, we shouldn't make them deal with unwanted dick, right? That is true, right?
Archaeological, God damn it. Why did I even attempt to say this word out loud? This is terrible and embarrassing, and I don't even want to continue speaking, actually. Archaeological, I don't even know how to say it, actually. Archaeologicalists? How do you say that word?
Archaeologists.
Archaeologists, that's it. Those guys! With the
It's archaeological discoveries. Archaeologists are the people that make them.
I don't think I've ever tried to say that word out loud in my life, so suck my dick.
You just said the only way that you can fucking know the date of something is by eyewitnessing it. What?
Eyewitness reports! Reports, as in, like, from the Bible.
How do you know how old the world is, then?
Who was around when God said, "Let there be light"?
Yeah.
Nobody was. He was the only motherfucker there.
How convenient for his argument, right? Science is known for being wrong as much as it is right. So I'd rather believe in Santa Claus, God, the Easter Bunny, and anything else before I believe a scientist who, like everybody else, lives to be wrong. That's the most nonsense statement I've ever heard. When I read that off the page, I physically couldn't read the other 4 paragraphs that he wrote for me. I'm like, too long, didn't read, bud. No, your premise is already wrong. When science is proved wrong, quote unquote, by science, that's not a point for religion and nonsense and magical thinking. It's a point for science. It's the methodology as it's built to work. It's supposed to prove itself wrong, quote unquote. That's the whole process of it. You can't fundamentally be science illiterate and then think you're going to make a compelling argument against science. It drives me crazy. You clearly don't know what the hell you're talking about, and it's not. You're creating a false dichotomy that because science is proving itself wrong, aka the point of it, then all of a sudden there's reason to believe in magic. No, not at all. Not even close.
God came to me last night and said that he in fact loves fags. So sorry, Westford Baptist Church, but
Yes.
I mean he told me that he loves quote unquote fags. I mean, he didn't use that word because he votes Democrat.
Oh, I was going to say, if God
He's a
was
socialist,
British,
actually. Marxist.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if God is British and he said, "Oh, I love fags," is he talking about gay people or cigarettes?
Well, he
which way are we
technically,
going
Brian, he invented all of it, so he loves all of it.
Yes. Yes, and actually God is a lesbian African-American woman. Who knew? To say that you can't make fun of a group kind of is belittling them, I think, in a way. Do none of them have a sense of humor about themselves at all? We're only allowed to make fun of straight, cisgender white males? Is that it? Only the people in power are allowed to be made fun of? No, I don't think that actually is equality or respect. And let's just remember, nothing you say out loud, no sentence, no joke, no little story or anecdote, is actually doing anything to you. You're just hearing the words and not liking the message. So we've created this culture where getting offended by messages somehow feels like a right, but it shouldn't be. It's the opposite of what free speech is actually supposed to be about, and this is, I don't know, it's really fucking important to me, man.
I like watching them play Halo because they care about it and they're good at it. I like that. I like passion in people, but to have this misconception that everybody secretly is waiting for another floaty, clunky, crane driving type experience, it's just bollocks. It's just not true.
Yeah. We're talking about $60 games, though, that have playable content behind paywalls, and that just kind of sucks, especially if they are required to fit in the metagame of, what's good and what's not. And I understand games want to charge for characters because it makes them more money, but you're already charging for the game. Like in a free-to-play game, it's okay. but not in a $60 one. Fairy unicorn, and I think one of them costs like $20 or something. I'm like, no, actually, but it doesn't ruin the game experience if you don't have it. That's the main point, that you don't add an element that ruins the game for everybody else, or you feel that you need it to compete. You gotta keep that in mind.
Right. But psychopaths will instantly and eerily reply, throw them off the bridge, because the part of their brain that deals with hot empathy is damaged or doesn't work. And that there's a study done about that part of the brain that they know psychopaths have trauma to this part of the brain, or the chemical balance is not correct, and they can't engage that. And you know, the fucking funny thing is, my flatmate said he went, "Oh," and Zoe went, "Throw the bitch." She didn't fucking hesitate at all. And I was like, you just failed the psychopath test.
Or passed, depending upon
whichever way. I see it from her perspective, really. It's two birds with one stone. Save 5 people and kill a fatty. We don't need them. Just get rid of them.
There's another, like, one of those verbal psychological tests called the serial killer test, which is kind of funny. And it goes a little something like this. You are at one of your brother's funerals, and you meet this girl, amazing girl, you know, beautiful. You guys have amazing conversations, and you think that, you know, this girl she's the one. She's got to be it. But then when the funeral is done, you know, you two go your separate ways, and you never see her again. How do you guarantee that you could see her another time? And your answer to this, if you answer it with, "Oh, kill your other brother," then you're a serial killer. You know, that's like kind of like the answer.
I did think kill another person. Like I did. I thought that realistically, like, what would be the only way to do that? However, the order of my principles says that no pussy is worth killing another person.
Bros over hoes.
Yeah. You know, you can play these great games on Windows 10 because it's more of a Windows 10 thing than it is like console versus personal computer, whatever. And that way they can kind of get away with releasing a shit console, right? So the people that already have it don't have to buy something else and buy a PC. But the people like me who are just like, I'm not tolerating the messages crashing my Xbox, I'm going to PC, can also be part of their paying Xbox Live community. Like, all right, you buy Halo 5 on PC. You have to pay for Xbox Live to play that game.
That idea that you came up with is something that really only somebody who's gone through these communities knows that that's something they value, or at least intrinsically, extrinsically, not exactly sure which word I want to use there, but like the businessmen who are thinking about how to utilize the Kinect and the Snap features, they're artificially looking at market desires, but really we don't want any of that shit. We like the community and the functions and the messages and the party chat and the scale of it, right? It's far more simple than they thought it was, really.
Clearly, having autism would make you a better dictator. I really think